Hi everyone, this is Sagar Shah and I am at the Las Vegas airport right now and we are going for the freestyle chess. But this video is about the recap of the tie breaks of round 2 of the Women's World Cup happening in Batumi, Georgia. Very interesting day. We had already 4 players who had qualified to round 3. Now 3 of them were playing the tie breaks. Priyanka K, who was taking on Klaudia Kulon, Padmini Rout against Alexandra Kosteniuk, and Vantika Agrawal against Anna Ushanina. Let me start off with Padmini Rout playing Kosteniuk, a great player, Kosteniuk former world champion. In their first 20 plus 10 game, it ended in a draw. Not much happened. In their second game, also nothing much happened and they drew. So it was 1-1 the score in the tiebreak. They then moved to the 10 plus 10 section and in this, Padmini scored the first point and it was amazing how Padmini played this opening where she played knight c3, bishop c4 in the opening. And at some point, when Alexandra played knight a5, Padmini had this incredible tactic, which was fe5, bishop e5, and now playing queen h5 check. And I was wondering to myself, how does this work? g6, and now the queen is attacked, knight takes c4 is happening. But in comes the move. Can you find it? Bishop f7 check, king takes f7, and queen e5. And before you know it, here white has a huge advantage. Padmini did not find this, but still she managed to win the game in brilliant style. In the end game, she made amazing use of the king. This is a beautiful end game which should be studied, and with minimal material, she managed to win. So I was amazed, and I thought Padmini will now win it. She now has to now get only a draw with black, and she's through to the third round, beating Kosteniuk. She got a fantastic position out of the opening. After the move d5, it seemed like there's no way that she can lose this position. Kosteniuk had to make f3, he was taken, and the thing is, she did not put her pieces in good position. And at some point, when she played queen c7, Kosteniuk was very alert, took on f6, knight d5, and then after that, um, she had a great position. Knight b6, threatening rook on a8, and also threatening rook d5, gave her a winning position. So it was again 1-1. Now we moved into the blitz portion. In the blitz format, which was 5 plus 3, here it was first Kosteniuk, who had. This was again interesting. Kosteniuk was white, and this time she built a beautiful position with space and pawn on e5, and then came this strike knight takes f7 and bishop g6 and then bishop h5, and she was all over Padmini's king. Now Padmini had to win on demand in the next round, and she was unable to. Kosteniuk managed to get the better of her, and the match ended in Kosteniuk's favor. In fact, it was a draw, but yeah. So in the end, this is what happened. Padmini was knocked out, but she gave a valiant fight. We now come to the game of Vantika Agrawal. Vantika playing Anna Ushanina. And so the first 2 games of 20 plus 10 rapid ended in draws, equalish, great fighting games, but draws. Then came this game where Vantika had black pieces. Her opponent played the Trompowski, and Vantika got a fantastic position out of the opening. I particularly liked how she played on the light squares. This move, bishop d7 to c6, and then the kingside attack was huge through Vantika's pieces. And then she played this beautiful move, bd5, forcing queen takes d5, rook h2, king h2, queen g3, king h1, queen h4 with a mate. So brilliant game by Vantika, fantastic chess by her. And then Ushanina had to win on demand, which she managed to do. That was brilliant. The way she played in that Queen's Gambit structure, Carlsbad structure, was beautiful. Queen was on f5, and then the e3 pawn became terribly weak.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And then,
baggage from Alaska Airlines.
and so now we went into the 5 plus 3 section, And here in the opening, Ushanina made a huge blunder. Vantika went for her favorite Catalan, and then in a well-known position where you have to take on c5 with the rook, and then b4 is met with rook b5. In fact, this rook c5 line has happened before in the game of Nepo and Nihal in World Cup 2023. But actually, she took with the bishop on c5, giving an entirely free piece to Vantika after queen a5. I think Anna was super tired, and I think this is our back. So she was super tired and she lost there. And then in the next game, Vantika was like super solid with the black pieces. She did not let her opponent get the better of her, and she qualified. And I think in the end, her mother came and hugged her, and it was a beautiful moment. So Vantika is through to the third round, and then we have had Priyanka, who's been the hero of round one, and we thought like, can she do the magic against Klaudia Kulon? But as it turned out, Priyanka's opponent was very smart in the opening. She played in a well-known position, knight takes e4. And although Priyanka seemed pretty well prepared, she very quickly, I think, got into some trouble and she couldn't handle it and she lost. In the game 2, there was a very nice moment where the knight came to b4 and bishop f5. And here Claudia played c3, knight c2, g4. Beautiful move. And knight a1, g takes f5, and that knight on a1 was trapped, and it seemed like she would win, but then she blundered, giving Priyanka a huge chance with queen d5, queen e4, and then she was exchange up. Actually, Priyanka was an exchange up. All that she had to do was go back to d7 with her queen, and she would have won that game. But she went queen f6, and then Claudia's attack broke through, queen h5, bishop h4, rook came up, and then she lost. Priyanka lost here, which means that in the end, she is now eliminated, which means that out of 9 players, 4 have been eliminated. But the top 5 rated Indian players, we have Hampi, Harika, Vaishali, Divya, and Vantika, are all through to round number 3. Who are they playing in round number 3? Let me tell you. Hampi takes on Klaudia Kulon, the girl who beat Priyanka. I think Hampi is a clear favorite here. Klaudia is rated 2407. Then we have Harika, who is taking on Stavrola Solakidu. Stavrola was part of MGD1 team that won the gold at World Rapid Team Championship, and will be a tough fight, but I would also say Harika has the better chances. Then we have Vaishali, who takes on Carissa Yip. Now, Carissa is a very strong player from USA. She's rated 2431. I think Vaishali will have quite a tough matchup. And then we have Divya Deshmukh taking on Theodora Injak, 2457. So very well matched battle between these two IMs here. And finally, we have the girl who qualified with a lot of fight from round 2, Vantika Agrawal, taking on she takes on Katrina Lagno. And this is going to be a great matchup. So these 5 matches I'm going to focus on. But for now, it's time to go to our hotel in Vegas. Thank you, Amruta, for shooting this. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.